Yeah, well, that was pretty well explained from Ken and both players during the referee setting the ball to win the last frame. They're having an in-depth conversation about something. I can only assume it was the cushions, but as Stephen said, there's not a lot they can do about it unless they've got a screwdriver with them.
Thank you, Mark.
Well, what I do
Thank
think
you,
they
ladies
have,
and gentlemen.
the cushions are
frame.
ready-made, John, just ready to
Mark
be
Selby
clipped
to
on.
break.
So I suppose they could do it after the afternoon session.
Caught that break-off shot much too thick. But not left anything that would tempt John Higgins, you wouldn't have thought, unless he could get past the yellow to the red on the right-hand side of the table, which I don't think he can. No. And he can't play the pot on this red. I think he'd be bound to be running into another red. So just a safety. Needs to miss the brown. And that's one of the best safety shots we've seen so far. Good line, good length. Something that Mark Selby didn't do a lot with Ding Junhui. He liked to play the safety and keep the balls tight. That was a more attacking safety there. Put a bit of pressure on John to get this safe and not leave a red on. Possible pot, but risky. Now, can he cue past the red to make this black unmissable? I think he can. Good pot, that. An aggressive safety from Mark Selby. Just left half a chance. And it went. And then for all money, it looked like the cue ball was going to finish up in the middle. Couldn't have been any closer. But as I say, I think he can just cue past this red. It's awkward if he can't.
Yeah, the one good thing, you can just fully concentrate on just potting the black. He's bound to be on something. Red, obviously, over the left middle. There's a red at the bottom of the bunch to the left corner. Even the red that's closest to the cue ball. Pot's the same pocket.
He's having to play it though with a little touch of the left-hand side, so got to allow for the throw. He did. As you say, Stephen, didn't have a lot to do. He had quite a few reds to play for. But whenever you're having to put side on that you wouldn't want to,
8.
always makes the pot a little bit tricky. So, decent chance for John here.
No.
Well, I said earlier on that he never had a century in his semi-final. Actually did have one in the final frame. But still,
50.
in a frame, a match of that length, you'd expect someone like John Higgins to maybe have 3 or 4. And the best break builders the game's ever seen. He needs to bring that game to this final. He's had 6 in the competition so far. going to put pressure on Mark Selby in this final.
60.
He's going to win frames like this at one visit. I know you can win frames in all types of ways, but nothing puts fear in your opponent more than if you capitalise from these chances.
Play for the red just to the right of the black. He wants to be straight on it at all
23.
costs. He's perfect.
24.
If it had just been the wrong side of straight, he'd have had to try and avoid those two reds near the top cushion, but finished on it nicely. Still in perfect position.
When you watch John Higgins' technique, what's different from almost every other player in the game is how far his tip is from the cue ball when he addresses a shot. Almost every other player, the tip virtually touches the cue ball. You see the distance. Virtually had the same, maybe tinkered a little bit, virtually had the same cue action his whole career. Very repetitive, very effective.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at that dressing of the cue ball and you get someone like Ding Junhui who gets so
39.
close. And yeah, the other day he fouled the cue ball, just feathering it and just misjudged it. Not much chance of John Higgins ever doing that.
Another little quirk, John, is he's right-handed, but puts his chalk in his left pocket and uses his left hand to chalk the cue.
Do you know, Ray Reardon used to do exactly the same. Ray Reardon had that habit. And of course the reason that Stephen has got all these bits of knowledge about John, of course you practice with him for so many years. Just getting near the point now where you may have to go into red, so off this red needs a good angle on the black.
.48.
Just about got it.
To perfection.
55.
Exactly the red. Wanted to hit and had to get that screw in the cue ball to bring it back out of the reds. Now is this the first century of this final coming
56.
up?
So there you see it, 63 ahead, 83 remaining.
63.
That equates to red, colour red, to get to snookers required.
.64.
Had 70 centuries in the tournament so far. I must admit, when we were sort of in the second round, I thought we might beat the
69.
record this year. But it doesn't look like it now unless we have an extraordinary final. 86 is a record.
70.
Can't see there being 17 centuries in the final, John.
That would take some doing. You never know. And in goes the black, so there'll be no way back to the table now for Mark Selby. Mid-session interval after this frame.
77.
The question is, can John make the century?
'78.
Well, what a way to punish that mistake in the safety shot from Mark Selby.
Just over an hour gone, so it's pretty good pace. Yeah, it was, as I said at the time, it was a type of safety shots that he wasn't playing
85.
against Ding Junhui. He was trying to keep it tight, but he thought he'd put a bit of pressure on John and leave him a tough long pot. And this is what happens.
86.
John knocked it in. All right, maybe a bit fortunate to catch the knuckle of the middle pocket and finish on the black. But Mark Selby, no matter how good a player he is, has no right to reply. Just had to sit in his seat and watch. Not the
93.
best positional shot there, though, from John Higgins. Needs a good shot here. Keep this break going.
94.
Well, did so. 94. The blue will take him to 99.
'99.
Immaculate. It really has been, since he played that awkward bat, as Mum Josephine enjoys the century break, it really has been immaculate from the word go.
106.
Possible 1-4-1 if he goes the black off this last red. Highest
107.
break of the tournament. Still is held by Ronnie O'Sullivan. Break of 1-4-6. So the 6
114.
remaining colours for a wonderful compiled break, and
106.
just shows you this game, half a chance, good pot, and has never really been in trouble. He's taken these really well.
190.
And that's a good sign for the rest of this match as far as John Higgins and his supporters are concerned.
123. $128. $134.
Well played.
41 in the frame.
Absolutely superb. And Mark Selby, as he walks to the dressing room, gives a little tap on the table to agree with me. And John Higgins has never been in front, but he's all square again as they go to the first mid-session interval of this final. All square, 2 apiece.